erat in principio, et nunc et sanctus, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. Ostende nobis Domini misericordiam Tuam, alleluia.
Et salutare Tuum nobis alleluia.
Domini exaudi orationem meam.
Benedicta vobis Dei.
Dominus vobiscum.
Et spiritu tuo.
Oremus. Exaudi nos Domini Sancte Pater omnipotens aeterne Deus, et mittere dineris sanctum angelum tuum Deus, qui custodiat, foveat, protegat, visitetat, et defendat omnes habitantes in hoc habitatum, per Christum Dominum nostrum.
Amen. Alleluia. We are
Filii unigenite, Iesu Christe. Qui tardis peccata mort, miserere nobis. Qui tardis peccata mort, Qui sedes ad destra Patris, miserere nobis. Te salvamus Dominus. Cum Sancto Spiritu, in gloria Dominus vobiscum. Aureus, Deus qui fidelium mentes unius efficis voluntatis, ta populis tuis sit amare quod precipiis sit desiderare quod promittis, ut inter mundanas varietates divinas servicias incorda, ubi vera sunt chiari, per Dominum nostrum Iesum Christum filium tuum, qui te convivitet regnat in unitate Spiritus Sancti Deus, per omnia saecula saeculorum. Amen. Oremus, Deus qui non mortem sed penitentiam desideras peccatorum, populum tuum a te revertentem propitius respice, Autum tibi devotus existit iracundie tue flagella, habeo clemente nobis, per Dominum nostrum Iesum Christum filium tuum, qui te convivitat regnat in unitate Spiritus Sancti Deus, per omnia saecula saeculorum. Amen. Ex epistole Beati Jacobi Apostoli, carissimi omnigatum optimum et omnidon perfectum desusum est, descendens a partem divinum apudque non est consumus datio, nec efficitus obum gratia. Voluntarie in incenuit nos verbo veritatis, ut sinus initium aricor creatur eius. Sit ex patres mei dilectissim, citatem omnis homo velox ad audiendum, dardus atem ad loquendus et adum ademus. Irae in viri justitiam Dei, non operatum. Obteco ad avicientes omnem immunditiam et abundantiam malditiam, in mansuetudine suscipite in situm verbo, quod pote salvare animas veres nos. Dominus vobiscum,
in spiritu tuo,
sequentia Sancti Evangelii secundum Ioannem.
gloria tibi, Dominus.
Id in tempo, dixit Iesus discipulis suis paruatem primisit me, et debo ex vobis interrogat me curati. Sed quiae locutus sum vobis retictia in plebe confest. Sed ego veritatem dico vobis, expedit vobis ut ego vadam sine nim non abiero, parapetus non veli et atmos, si autem abiero, vita meum. Ecum venerit ideago et mundum de peccato, et de justitia et de judici. De peccato quidem quia non crediderunt in, de justitia verbo quia ad patrem vado, et iam non videbis, de judicio autem quia princeps uius mundi iam judicatus. Aduc multa abium vobis dicere, sed non potestis portare mod. Cum autem venirit ide Spiritus Veritatis, docebit vos omne veritate. Non enim loquetura semet ipso, sed quecumque adiet loquetur, et que ventura sunt annunciabit vos. Ille me clarificat, quia de meo accipiet et annunciabit vos. At this time Jesus said to his disciples, "Now I am going back to him who sent me. None of you is asking me, 'Where is it thou art going?' So full are your hearts with sorrow at my telling you this. And yet I can say truly that it is better for you I should go away. He who is to befriend you will not come to you unless I do go. But if only I make my way there, I will send him to you. He will come, and it will be for him to prove the world wrong about sin, about rightness of heart, and about judging. About sin, they have not found belief in me. About rightness of heart, I am going back to my Father, and you are not to see me anymore. About judging, he who rules this world has had sentence passed on him already. I have still much to say to you, but it is beyond your reach as yet. It will be for him, the truth-giving Spirit, when he comes, to guide you into all truth. He will not utter a message of his own. He will utter the message that has been given to him, and he will make plain to you what is still to come. And he will bring honor to me, because it is from me that he will derive what makes plain to you." In the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Today, on this fourth Sunday after Easter, we celebrate the traditional crowning of Our Lady, the traditional May coronation of Our Lady, with these beautiful flowers, which reminds us that the creation and the beauty and the splendor of the creation is Our Lady. She's the most perfect of creatures, and nothing can be beautiful enough to honor the perfection of the nature of Our Lady. And not only her nature, but also the virtues of Our Lady, were in her, limited to her, but in all perfection. She is the Immaculate Conception because she is the Mother of God, and the creation praises this highest privilege of Our Lady, the divine maternity. Yes, she is the most beautiful of all the creatures. Yes, she is the most beautiful, as the psalm says, of the women of the world, and none of them, and there is no offense in that, would be as beautiful as Our Lady. And we are privileged to have such a beautiful mother. And we are privileged to be within the Catholic Church, to be bound to her. She is our mother, and we are privileged to be her children within the Catholic Church. And this is the unique privilege, because we believe in all the privileges of Our Lady, in all the virtues of Our Lady within the Church, and she protects her. Yes, she is not one amongst the saints, one saint in the group of all saints. No, she is different. She is definitely different. She is the Queen of Angels. She is the Queen of Martyrs. She is the Queen of Prophets. She is the Queen of Patriarchs. She is the Queen of Confessors. She is the Queen of the Holy Rosary. She is the Queen of the Sacred Priesthood. She is the Queen, yes, indeed. And because she has all these glories, and we are about to sing them in the litany straight after Mass, we have to sing again and to contemplate again what God has done in a simple person, a simple human being, what he has achieved in Our Lady, in her soul and in her body. And we have brought this morning, or you have at home, I hope you did, if not, you have to do it during the day. There will be no flowers in your garden, I'm afraid, but this is no problem, because you are doing what God did. So take the flowers and place them before the statue of Our Lady. Honor your mother, because you are repeating by bringing these flowers at the feet of Our Lady,
We have done what God did for her when he created her soul and when he united this immaculate soul untouched by any sin and completely preserved from the original sin. We are doing what God did when he planned to have Our Lady as the Mother of Christ, Mother of God. We are repeating the same at our own level. So if your children are picking all the flowers from your garden this afternoon, you can blame me. I have no problem. I have no problem with this. Because just think 1 minute, all these beauties were created for God, by God, through him, and for him. And what's the best channel to honor such a careful, such a loving Father in heaven than caring for our Mother on earth? Yes, you can gather and scatter all the flowers you can before her. Your parents would probably give me a nice phone call or a nice email to tell me what have you said. But that's the good thing, because they have already listened. Yes, we are gathering the flowers, and if we have no garden, there is another garden which is even more important. Another garden, greater. If you live in a flat, you have your own garden. Or if your garden seems too small, or no flowers because you have no green hands. Even if you have no garden on earth, you've got your own garden. And this is the garden, again, which repeats the first garden of the creation. This is your heart, and this is our souls. Yes, if we have no garden, if we are locked behind our doors, we can still come into our soul, recollect ourselves, and see what which flowers of the spiritual life we can gather for her. No worries, you don't need to steal flowers from your neighbors. You don't need to. We have already given beautiful flowers in our soul. The virtues of the Catholic life, the virtues, the flowers of the virtues handed out on the very day of our baptism and planted in our hearts. And these flowers are, I'm afraid, and this is no offense for these beautiful flowers, these earthly flowers, those ones are again even more and far more beautiful, because they have been directly given by God. And these flowers are the flowers of perfection. St. Francis de Sales, because we have to quote him sometimes, to make you think that the Institute of Christ is under the protection of St. Francis, he says, there are many flowers in the garden of the life, in the garden of the soul, in the garden of the sanctity and holiness. They are the red flowers of the martyrs brought to Our Lady. Yes, they come to Our Lady with the flowers of their blood, the flowers of their ardent desire to give their life and sacrifice their life for Christ, and in testimony for the only true faith. And these flowers, these red flowers, says St. Francis, were planted at first in the garden because they were the first generation after Christ, were all martyrs. Remember, the first generation of popes were all martyrs for a long time, under persecution because of their faith. They suffered this martyrdom, and they do still suffer martyrdom when the world despises us. We suffer. We're in pain because they don't understand. We suffer, but as we say, we suffer with no anger. Referring to the epistle this morning, this is extremely important. Yes, we are happy to bring the flowers of our martyrdom because we have got so many occasions to be sacrificed. But no anger, because the epistle says that the anger of man is the resistance against the grace of God. If we are angry or impatient with our brethren because they are not in our standards, in our views, perfect enough, we are wrong. Because we resist the action of God and we are a poor channel of the grace. Be patient, be meek. At all times, be patient, and you'll be a very good red flower at the foot of Our Lady. You will, otherwise, you will be, again, as I said, a poor means of the sanctification. This is the first flowers we bring. And we can all say, we have got to bring today these red roses to Our Lady, haven't we, in our life? How many crosses do we bear? How many occasions to see, oh, this is a good cross? Because sometimes we don't see them. We see them as challenges, but they are not. They are crosses, and we have to recognize these crosses as means of sanctification and salvation for ourselves first. Secondly, St. Francis says they are the white lilies of the virginity and the chastity. And we know this is a grace, a privilege, because this is living like, as St. Francis says, or St. John Marie Vianney said as well, like living like an angel in the world, with the feet, your toes on this life and your wings on the next one. Yes, this is a great privilege of purity, because at our own level, in our own state of life, we can live a chaste life according to our the duties and the deeds of our life. But we can bring this flower, of course, all the imperfection it is brought in the consecrated life, if they are faithful. This is the second flower we bring to Our Lady because she is the Holy Virgin, by, as we probably not sing today, but you will sing at home, by God's decree. The virginity is not our choice, it comes from God. It is that His grace which helps us to be faithful. And the third one, the yellow flowers of married life. This one is interesting because these yellow flowers, he calls them, I know it is in French, he calls them les soucis. That's the name of the flower, of this yellow flower. It's called les soucis. I don't know really how to translate this, but he said this is les soucis, these flowers, of marriage. And souci is the play on words, because it also means the worries or the sorrows of the married life. Les soucis of the married life. The yellow ones. Yes, and this is true. And this is why St. Francis is such a great saint, because he understands everybody. He doesn't exclude anyone from holiness, from the devotion, the souci of the married life. If you have a look in this beautiful, I think it was the writing in the introduction of the Devout Life, to the Devout Life of St. Francis, you will see, you will read it. Yes, of course, we're coming, not I, not myself, maybe yourselves, you know what I mean. Yes, the worries, the pains, the crosses of the married life, but they are here like virtues. They are not here to stop us to go to heaven. They are here because through the married life and through the sacrifices made in mainly the education of the children, if you know what I mean, or the patience with your husband or your wife. But you are not just challenged, you are bringing these yellow, beautiful flowers at the feet of Our Lady. Yes, you do. And yes, she is pleased. Yes, she is honored, of course, because she had lived in our Lord's life. She's seen what kind of worry a mother could have in her heart. Yes, she had been holy as well. She gave her life in the sacrifice. She was the pure virgin, but she was such a wonderful and a tender mother. And these eternal virtues of Our Lady are part of the flowers we're bringing this morning, of course. Yes, they are. Remember when she lost her child in the temple. What a song. Remember when she saw her child on the cross at the Calvary. What a pain. And we cannot even imagine the pain of Our Lady. She had enough Susie. She had enough yellow flowers. She knows. She understands what we're doing. And she welcomes us in this state of life, which is more common. More common. But the three of them, all of them are gathered together in a crown. And we're crowning Our Lady today with our own little efforts, our little virtues. But they are not only small, because I can't remember the English proverb says, best thing in small things. Is that what it is? I've been told by someone someday, I can't remember. Somebody who might be a bit small. And I have to say, yes, this is absolutely true. And this is so true today. Yes, small virtues are not small. This is what we think. They are not. Don't be discouraged. Your virtues are great in the eyes of God as long as you bring them to Our Lady. And she gathers them, all this nice bouquet of virtues, and she brings them at the altar of the Son in heaven. Yes, they are placed in heaven. They are not staying on earth, not just to make our life more holy with our brethren or more charitable. No, they're going on earth. They are already placed at the altar of the fragrance described in St. John, in the Apocalypse of St. John. Yes, that's where they are. These beautiful flowers of this life are just a very small but valuable symbol of this vision of St. John in the Apocalypse. What is happening in heaven? Don't be discouraged. She's our queen, and she will stay our queen. She will protect us because she understands us. Just hold her hand, saying your rosary. Hold her hand every day of your life. She will not let you down. She will encourage and strengthen your hearts. In the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Ghost. Amen.
Dominus vobiscum.
et Spiritu tuo.
Oremus.
Deo universalis
Domino Deo nostrum. Benedictum et postum in saeculum et salutaris, te quidem Domine omni tempore, sed in apottissimum gloriosius predicare, cum Pascha nostrum immolatus est Christus, ipse in verus est agnus, quae abstupis peccata mori, quae mortem nostra moriendo destruxit, et vitam resurgendo reparat. Et ideo, cum angelis et archangelis, cum tronis et dominationibus, cum omni militia celestis exercitus, et cum gloriae tuae carnibus, sine fine dicens.
Sanctus
mulieribus moniti, et divina institutione formati, ademus Dece. Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimitte nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimittimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Pax Domini sic semper vobiscum.
Et spiritu tuo. Agnus Dei. Qui nobis
Dominus vobiscum. Oremus, ad est nobis Domini Deus noster, ad perique fidelitas unsimus et vocemus vocemur habitis, et a periculis omnibus eruam. Per Dominum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum, qui te convivitet regnat in unitate Spiritus Sancti Deus, per omnia saecula saecula.
Amen.
Oremus, exaudi nos Deus salutaris noster, et populum tuum a miraculiae Tui terroribus liberum, et misericordiae Tue facere agetate secum. Per Dominum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum, qui te convivitet regnat in unitate Spiritus Sancti Deus, per omnia saecula saecula.
Amen.
Dominus vobiscum.
Benedicat vos omnipotens Deus, Pater et Filius et Spiritus Sanctus. Regina nostra Melissa, et exaudi nos Dei, qua in vota venemus. Oremus, quesumus omnipotens Deus ut angela tua, Elisabeth Regina nostra, qui tua miserazione suscepit rei gobernacula, virtutum entiam omnium percipiat increment, quid nos dicenterò nata et etiarum monstra devitar, et alle te qui via veritas et vitas cum prole regiacos, cum principe consorte prole regia, accensa Maria perveni, per Christum Dominum nostrum. Amen.
Christe exaudit, miserere nobis, miserere nobis, miserere nobis, miserere nobis, ora pro 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 nobis, pace nobis Domini. Exaltinus Domini. Miserere nobis. Quia surrexit Dominus reveadet, oremus, esque per resurrectionem fidei Tui, Domini nostri Iesu Christi, mundum beatificare dignatus, prestaque sum superius genitricem Virginem Maria, perpetue capiamus gaudi capi, per eundem Christum Dominum nostrum. Amen.
Solemn act of consecration to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Most Holy Virgin Mary, Child Mother of men, to fulfill the desires of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, of the request of the Vicar of your Son on earth, we consecrate ourselves and our families to your sorrowful and Immaculate Heart, the Queen of the Most Holy Rosary. And we recommend to you all the people of our country and all the world. Please accept our consecration, dearest Mother, and use us as you wish to accomplish your designs in the world. O sorrowful and Immaculate Heart of Mary, Queen of the Most Holy Rosary and Queen of the world, rule over us, together with the Sacred Heart of Jesus Christ, our King. Save us from the spreading flood of modern paganism. Kindle in our heart and homes love of purity, the practice of a virtuous life, and an ardent zeal for souls, and a desire to pray the Rosary more faithfully. We come with confidence to you, O Throne of Grace and Mother of fair love, inflaming us with the same divine fire which has inflamed your own sorrowful and Immaculate Heart. Make our hearts and homes your shrines, and through us make the heart of Jesus, together with your rule, triumph in every heart and home. Amen.